Are you tired of waiting all that time for your shells to reload? Do you want to be able to drive at high speeds? Well, I have a solution for you. It's called crew skills. Today I'll explain what all the crew skills in War Thunder do. These skills are extremely useful. Many players forget about their crew skills and it really affects their performance. From the driver, to the gunner, all the way to the radio operator. I'll give detailed explanations along with visual guides to help you understand how the crew skills work. But first, let me explain how the crew skills actually work. Let's start off with the crew slots. Each slot has a group of crew members. Whenever you buy a tank, you train your crew to operate said tank. Each crew member has a set of skills. Some are generic skills that every member has, but some are unique to certain members. These skills give you bonuses, which are called parameters. Whenever you use a tank in a battle, your crew get experience points, or crew XP points for short. With these points, you can upgrade the crew skills. Each crew skill has its own cost of XP points, and the more you upgrade a skill, the higher the cost. The total number of upgrades is shown in the form of crew levels. Each half a crew skill gives you 0.5 crew levels. The levels and upgrades stay on the crew slot even if you switch tanks, so you don't have to upgrade your skills each time you get a new tank. Even if your tank doesn't have certain crew members, you will still get the bonuses from their upgrades. For example, if your tank doesn't have a commander or your commander dies in combat, you will still get the bonuses that he gives you. This is true for most members, with the exception of the loader. When he dies, your loading time will be doubled, so keep that in mind. Whenever you get to a certain crew level, you can upgrade your crew to be an expert or ace. Promoting your crew to be an expert costs silver lions, and acing them usually costs golden eagles. The level requirement gets higher with each tier, and so does the cost. Upgrading your crew to expert gives all your crew members a +3 bonus to all their skills. An ace crew gets a +2 bonus on top of the expert bonus for a total of +5. Whenever you buy a promotion, the crew slot gets the bonuses. If you move the tank to a different slot, the bonuses won't move with it, so pick your lineup carefully. Still with me? Good. Let's move on to the skills themselves. First up, the generic skills. These are skills that all the crew members have. You should keep in mind though that with the generic skills, the average value of the upgrades counts. Think of it like a big skill bar, which gets increased as you upgrade your crew. For example, let's say you upgraded a skill by 1 level on your gunner, 1 with your driver, 2 with the commander, and you didn't upgrade with the rest of your crew. The total value of the skill would be 4 divided by 25, which would be 16% of the bar. Anyways, back to the generic skills. These include Keen Vision, Field Repair, Agility, and Vitality. The first one we'll be looking at is Keen Vision. Keen Vision allows your crew to spot tanks further away. This skill is only useful in arcade battles however, since in RB and Sim, there are no red markers. However, it does give you these red arrows on the side of your screen. These arrows are directing to where a target is. The higher you upgrade the skill, the more arrows you can see. A very common misconception is that Keen Vision affects render distance. After extensive research and testing, I've concluded this is not true. Invisible enemies are only a bug and they have nothing to do with the crew skill. Now that's out of the way, back to the parameters. The explanations I'll be giving on Keen Vision are going to be on arcade, so if you're only interested in RB or Sim, feel free to skip to the next crew skill. Upgrading Keen Vision gives you a variety of boosts. You can split them up into 2 groups, Detection and Identification. Detection allows you to see an enemy and create a red marker over their tank. Identification allows you to see exactly which tank it is. So, for example, if you see a tank far away, it would just say medium tank, but if you have Keen Vision upgraded with the extra identification, it will say the exact model of the tank, for example, T-3485. The first parameter is Absolute Detection. Absolute Detection is how far you can spot enemies around your vehicle and with your camera. Even if you're not looking at a target, you can still spot them thanks to this parameter. The base stat for Absolute Detection is 97 meters, so you can spot players 97 meters away. Upgrading Keen Vision by half skill level gives an extra meter of detection. The highest absolute detection you can get is 215 meters. The second parameter is Movement Line Detection. This parameter improves your driver's ability to spot enemies. In other words, you'll be able to spot targets where your hull is facing. The base stat is 235 meters of detection, and the half skill level gives an extra 3 meters. The highest movement line detection you can get is 523 meters. The third parameter is Line of Sight Detection. This one is also quite similar to the 2 previous skills. Instead of spotting with your camera or your hull though, this parameter lets you spot enemies with your turret. So, wherever you're looking with your turret, you can spot enemies. This skill has an interesting feature along with it though. If you use your scope or binoculars, it triples the upgraded value. For example, if you upgraded Keen Vision by 3 levels, and then look somewhere with your scope or binoculars, you'll get the same effect as upgraded by 9 levels. The base stat is 563 meters of detection, and you can get an extra 7 meters per half of skill level. The highest line of sight detection you can get is 1251 meters. The 4th through 6th parameters are identification skills. These are not very useful though, since they only let you know which tank you're facing. Here are the stats if you're interested though. And the last parameter is aircraft detection. This parameter lets you detect enemy aircraft in the sky. The base stat is 4.27 kilometers, and you get an extra 50 meters per half of skill level. The highest aircraft detection you can get is 9.5 kilometers. Scouting vehicles with the improved optics modification gives all Keen Vision parameters a 30% boost. Upgrading Keen Vision to the max per crew member will cost you 2032 crew XP points. Next up we have Field Repair. Field Repair lowers the time needed to repair modules or your tank. The maximum repair time varies from tank to tank and from module to module. Each half a skill level takes 0.4% off the repair time per module, and with a fully upgraded Field Repair, an ace crew, and maximum leadership, you can cut the time needed to repair in half. Upgrading field repair to the max will cost you 3060 crew XP points per crew member. The third skill is Agility. Agility is how fast a crew member can replace another crew member. Again, the average value of the skill counts. Upgrading, say, your gunner will affect the entire crew. Without any upgrades, a crew replacement takes 13 seconds, and each half a skill level takes 40 milliseconds off that time. A fully upgraded Agility skill with an ace crew maximum leadership can bring it down to 8 seconds. Upgrading Agility to the max will cost you 3060 crew XP points per crew member. The last generic skill is Vitality. This one speaks for itself. It increases the amount of health points your crew members have. This is the only generic skill that doesn't take the average value of the crew members, so you should upgrade this skill on the most important members, or the ones that are most vulnerable. I'd recommend either the gunner, loader, or driver. Upgrading Vitality by half a skill level gives an extra 5% health to your crew member. With an ace crew and maximum Vitality, you can double the base health. Upgrading Vitality to the max will cost you 3093 crew XP points per crew member. Now it's time to move on to the unique skills. As the name suggests, these skills are unique to certain crew members. From now on, I'll be saying maximum upgrades instead of fully upgraded with an ace crew and maximum leadership, so keep that in mind. The first unique skill we'll be looking at is tank driving. The first crew member is the driver. He has one unique skill, tank driving. Tank driving affects how fast the driver can hit the brakes and switch gears, so it improves acceleration and responsiveness when turning. Tank driving has two parameters, braking time and gear shifting time. Don't confuse braking time with braking distance. Braking distance is how far the tank goes before fully stopping. On the other hand, braking time is how fast the driver can hit the brakes, so it doesn't change how fast you can stop. Braking time does affect responsiveness when turning, however, so it lowers the time between you pressing a button and the driver turning. The default braking time is 0.14 seconds, and upgrading tank driving by half a skill level lowers the time by 3 milliseconds. A fully upgraded tank driving skill along with an ace crew and maximum leadership will drop it down to 0.07 seconds. Gear shifting time changes how fast you can switch gears. When you reach a certain speed, your driver will automatically change the gear, and this skill affects the time between you reaching said speed and your driver switching gears. This skill only improves automatic gear shifting, so if you manually shift your gears, it won't affect anything. The default gear shifting time is 1 second, and upgrading tank driving by half a skill level takes 36 milliseconds off that time. With a fully upgraded tank driving skill along with an ace crew and maximum leadership, it can be reduced down to 0.1 seconds. In conclusion, this skill isn't the most useful. For light tanks, the turning speed could be handy, and for heavy tanks, the gear shifting time might help, but unless your tank is the extreme of either, it won't affect too much. At least it's pretty cheap, only costing you 1020 crew XP points to upgrade to the max. The next crew member is the gunner. The gunner has two unique skills, targeting and rangefinding. Targeting affects the speed and position of your turret. It affects how fast you can turn your turret and how accurate you can aim. Targeting has 3 parameters, targeting quality, targeting speed, and targeting vertical speed. Targeting quality makes your shots more accurate. If your skill isn't upgraded, your shots will go in different directions each time. The more you upgrade, the more precise your shots will be. The base stat is 0%, and upgrading targeting by half a skill level gives an extra 4% to targeting quality. A fully upgraded targeting skill with an ace crew and maximum leadership gives you 100% targeting quality. So, in other words, your shots will go where you aimed 100% of the time. The next parameters are targeting speed and targeting vertical speed. These parameters affect how your gunner turns the turret. Targeting speed is for horizontal turning, while targeting vertical speed is for vertical turning. This parameter also lets your gunner turn crosswise. I made a simple visual guide to demonstrate. As you can see, a normal turret will go horizontally first and then vertically. In comparison, the upgraded turrets can go diagonally. For anti-air vehicles, this feature is crucial, so keep that in mind. Upgrading targeting by half a skill level takes 1.2% off the turret traverse time, and a fully upgraded targeting with an ace crew and maximum leadership will cut the turret traverse time by 30%. Upgrading targeting to the max will cost you 1020 crew XP points. The gunner's second skill is rangefinding. This one speaks for itself. It allows you to know how far your target is. There are a lot of different parameters, but they're basically the same thing. They're all about the distance you can range find and how much arrow there'll be. The first one says you can range find up to 50 meters with an arrow of 5 meters. That means if you range find a tank around 50 meters away, you'll get a distance with a miscalculation of less than 5 meters, so it's very precise. The further you go, the more arrow you'll get. If you upgrade rangefinding to the max with an ace crew and maximum leadership, you can find the range of tanks up to 1.2 kilometers away with an arrow of 100 meters. And for ranges less than that, here are the stats. Keep in mind though, if you have a rangefinder modification installed, the rangefinder skill will be useless. So if your tank has a rangefinder modification, you shouldn't upgrade the skill. Upgrading rangefinding to the max will cost you 1020 crew XP points. Up next is the commander. The commander has one unique skill, leadership. Many players ignore leadership, but it's one of the most important skills you can get. This skill increases the skills of other crew members. A fully upgraded leadership skill gives an extra skill level to all your crew members' skills. Upgrading leadership by half a skill level gives your crew a 1% bonus to all their skills, and the maximum leadership you can get is 10%. But it's the most expensive skill out of them all. Upgrading leadership to the max will cost you a total of 4021 crew XP points. Up next is the loader. The loader has one unique skill, weapon reloading. The weapon reloading skill is a skill that most players upgrade first, and rightfully so. This skill is one of, if not the most important skills out of them all. It decreases the time you need to reload. Be careful though, this skill has no effect on tanks with an autoloader, so make sure to check if your tank has one or not before upgrading. It does, however, affect the ammo storage reloading time by a small amount. And also, if your loader dies in combat, the loading time will be doubled, even if he's replaced by another crew member. Upgrading weapon reloading by half a skill level takes 1.3% off the reloading time, and with maximum upgrades you can decrease it by 33%. Weapon reloading is one of the most expensive skills though, costing you 3060 core XP points to upgrade to the max. The next crew member is a radio operator gunner. His role is to give coordinates to the artillery team for an artillery strike. The radio operator gunner has 3 unique skills: artillery targeting accuracy, artillery strike calling time, and radio communication. Artillery targeting accuracy is how accurate the artillery team can fire. The base targeting accuracy is 58 meters, so the barrage will have a radius of 58 meters. Upgrading artillery targeting accuracy by half a skill level will take 0.5 meters off the barrage radius. With maximum upgrades, the radius will be 45 meters. Upgrading this skill to the max is quite cheap, only costing you 541 core XP points. Next up is artillery strike calling time. Artillery strike calling time is not how much you need to wait between artillery barrages. It's the time between you calling for an artillery strike and the shells being fired. Upgrading artillery strike calling time by half a skill level will lower the time by 0.12 seconds. With maximum upgrades, you can get a minimum of 10 seconds between calling for the strike and the shells being fired. This skill is also very cheap, only costing you 541 core XP points to upgrade to the max. Keep in mind though, for heavy tanks, these skills are useless since heavy tanks cannot use artillery. The last skill is radio communication. This skill is mostly useful for arcade, but it does have an effect for RB and sim as well. In arcade, it highlights enemies that have been spotted by allies, with a default range of 250 meters. In RB and sim, however, when an ally detects an enemy, you get the red arrows on the side of your screen. You get an extra 20 meters of ally detection per half a skill level, and with maximum upgrades, you can get up to 500 meters of detection. Upgrading radio communication to the max will cost you 1020 core XP points. The last crew member is the mechanic. He isn't a part of your tank crew though, he works in the hangar. The mechanic has 2 unique skills, repair speed and repair rank. Repair speed is not how fast you can repair in combat, that skill is field repair. Repair speed is how long the free repairs take. If you're running low on silver lions, this skill might be useful, but it's one of the least useful skills you can upgrade. Upgrading repair rank by half a skill level takes 4% off the in-hangar repair time, and with maximum upgrades you can get a minimum of 40% the base time. Upgrading repair speed to the max will cost you 1322 core XP points. In order to get free repairs for tanks higher than tier 1, you need repair rank, which is a mechanic's second skill. Repair rank lets you have free repairs for tanks at higher tiers. The skill is automatically upgraded by 1 level on every tank, so the mechanic can do free repairs on tanks at tier 1. Each skill level will increase it by 1 tier, and upgrading it to the max will let you repair vehicles in tier 7. Upgrading repair rank to the max will cost you 1340 core XP points. And that concludes the explanations. Now time for some general tips. The main 3 skills you should prioritize for any vehicle is weapon reloading, leadership, and field repair. Obviously, if your tank has an autoloader, weapon reloading can be ignored, but in most cases, these 3 are essential in general combat situations. The other skills are a lot more situational. For example, if you're in a tank destroyer, targeting and rangefinding will be a lot more useful for you. Think about how you want to play with which vehicles, and choose the skills that you want to upgrade. But this is very important, you should distribute your points across multiple different skills. Even the game tells you to do this. Remember, crew upgrades can give you a maximum of 40% the max value. Qualifications will give you an extra 30% and 20%. And to get qualifications, you need crew levels. To get crew levels, you need to upgrade skills. However, the more you upgrade a skill, the more it'll cost. The most effective way to get crew levels is to distribute your points across multiple different skills. I'll simplify it with 2 examples. Let's say person A spent their points on maxing out weapon reloading, leadership, and field repair for 3 crew members. The total cost will be 16,000 core XP points, and will result in 25 crew levels, enough to get an expert crew for his tier 2 tank. So, in total, person A got a level 9 weapon reloading, a level 5 leadership, and a level 8 field repair for the cost of 16,000 core XP points. Person B spent their points on getting all the generic skills up to level 2 for all the crew. He also upgraded weapon reloading and leadership to level 3, and upgraded the artillery skills to level 3 as well. For a cost of 9,000 points, person B would get 52 crew levels, enough to ace that tier 2 tank. In total, they would get a level 7.5 weapon reloading, a level 3 leadership, and a level 7.5 field repair at a cost of only 9,000 points. In addition to that, they would have all their generic skills at level 7.5 as well. See the difference? Diversifying your points is not only better cost-wise, but you also get much better stats a lot quicker. Oh, and the reason for upgrading the artillery skills is that they're really cheap, so you can use them to get qualifications faster. And also, if you want to earn core XP points for a crew slot, you can use ground, air, or naval vehicles. The points are stored in the same place for any game mode, so if you want to grind some points for a tank but want to use a plane, go ahead. Anyways, in conclusion to the conclusion, prioritize weapon reloading, leadership, and field repair. Pick other skills that complement your playstyle, distribute your core XP points, and get qualifications. You can upgrade the artillery skill and use different game modes to grind quicker as well. And that about covers it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions or you think I missed anything, again, leave a comment below. Other than that, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.